How's it going there, everybody? Welcome to Marvelous Monday. That is right. I, of course, normally have on the Superman gear or whatever, but today I'm sporting the Captain America shirt. And yes, I am. This is a brand new segment to this channel. First of all, welcome to Comics CC Studio. I am your host, Brent. And today I have got some Marvel news for those of you that might want Marvel news but don't necessarily go to the Marvel website. And I would love to have you. So, this channel, if you're unfamiliar, we talk about comics, cosplays, and conventions and other nerdy things. Just did a review of Spider Man Brand New Day. And this Wednesday, we'll be talking with Dylan more about Spider Man comics. From the Brand New Day saga, which is very different than the movie, but feel free to check that out. But yeah, today we're going to jump right into some news from Marvel Movie News. I have my iPad here, so I will be looking at some notes. Also, if you are watching, I will be checking as well on my phone, and I will be seeing if there's any comments or questions or concerns. I would love this to be an interactive site. It's still relatively new. I know I've got like 100 videos, but I still feel brand new to this thing. So I would love for you to join me in this community as well. And we will jump right into it. So, first of all, as far as news goes, we will talk about, and one other thing before I jump into the news as far as this channel goes. I am not going to be doing rumors. I will definitely kind of be giving my takes and opinions and talking about my, ideas of things. But this segment specifically, as well as tomorrow's segment, DC Tuesday, I might come up with a better name. Terrific Tuesday, actually, I think is going to be the name. I want to talk about things that are actually reported on the website. So, of course, there's a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation. Sorry about that. If there's a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation, that's fine. I'm not necessarily going to get into all that. So I would say, excuse me, that's a little loud, a little hot there on the mic. So I would say if you're looking for rumors and talking about rumors, that will not be the scope of this show, just because I would like to, keep things credible directly from the Marvel site. So that's kind of the scope of this page. So if you're looking for confirmed Marvel news and not speculatory news, this is the page for you. I would recommend, if you want the speculatory news, dive all in, go for it. There's, I'm sure, unending comments and all those things that go on, but that's not really the scope of what I'm going to do here. So, first of all, RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., Haley Atwell, and Chris Evans, they appeared at D23, I think for a special sneak peek or a new preview of Avengers Doomsday, which I've only seen one so far. It's kind of one of those things when you see new movies coming out, they're going to be big. I went and watched Supergirl recently, the movie, in theaters, and then I rewatched the trailer afterwards. And I think a lot of the scenes that were what I would consider the big epic scenes in Supergirl were actually in the previews. So I honestly don't know how much I'm going to be watching any more of the Avengers Doomsday trailer. I'm definitely going to go see it in theaters. I just don't know if I want to have anything else spoiled for me. And, we live in 2026. So it's hard not to have things spoiled. I get it. That's fine. If I see something, for instance, I just saw Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I didn't know Florence Pugh's character was going to be in it. But then I saw somebody had posted about Tom Holland got a stunt double for that scene. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't know. Yeah, so anyways, I was unaware she was in there. So, welcome again, talking about Marvel movie news. So, Chris Evans, Haley Atwell, and Robert Downey Jr. appear at D23. So, that's interesting that those three came out. Obviously, Haley Atwell having a big part in the first Captain America, of course, in Captain America talking about the movies here. Captain America Civil War, she was older. Obviously, he found her. She passed. But then, of course, the Infinity Saga, he goes into the past, and now they're back. So this will be a very interesting thing to see how all this plays out. Is there timeline shenanigans, or is there is there another time heist, if you will? Is Doom causing this time heist? We'll have to see. But it's interesting as I think about Haley Atwell's character. I'm wondering, could we get some SSR or Shield? And this is my speculation. This is not on Marvel Movie News, but the news was they were at D23 and they had a couple lines about, yeah, Steve's like, yeah, we all, or they were Steve and Chris Evans and Haley Atwell were like, yeah, looking for happy endings, but we thought Steve might get one, but you never know, type of a thing. And so it'll be interesting to see. I was wondering, of course, the show Agent Carter, which was on the before Disney, I think it was before Disney Plus, back when like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on, Inhumans, Agent Carter, some of those Marvel TV shows, the OGs, if you will. Could we get some SSR or S.H.I.E.L.D. in this movie? Coming from other timelines, other universes. I don't know that. I would have to look at the casting list. I don't know if Samuel L. Jackson or Clark Gregg is in this movie. If they're not, they should be. Hashtag justice for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So it'll be interesting to see how that storyline goes and how big of a part does Haley Atwell play in this movie. Hopefully they don't bring her back just to like kill her off or something. Or Chris Evans as well. Like, yes, they may die. There may be characters that die, but I suppose that's somewhat normal considering we've had all these years of the MCU and now they're relaunching. So, also in other news, X-Men casting. So it's finally happening. We are finally getting X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I don't know if you have seen the show The Marvels or not, which was Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau. So those three kind of teaming up for an adventure. And there was actually, at the end of that movie, spoiler alert, if you've not seen The Marvels and you want to see The Marvels and you don't want anything spoiled, don't listen to this part. But Marvels actually had X-Men at the very end. Monica Rambeau goes through kind of this rift or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. She wakes up and then she's like, Mom. And then this lady's like, what? And then you see her mom, I think is Proton, which is a Monica Rambeau character. Maybe her mom played it. I'm not as up on Monica Rambeau as a comic book character. But anyway, she was there with Beast from X-Men. I believe it was Kelsey Grammer in that role. So there were some X-Men there in that role at the end of that movie. That was a different universe, I believe. So it wasn't exactly the 616 movie universe of like RDJ or not RDJ, but Tom Holland, Thor, all the Marvel Cinematic Universe connected. And it appears maybe we're going to get some cross universes in this thing with Doom. I really don't know. But that's what it would seem like, bringing in the X-Men, the older X-Men. So it'll be interesting to see, that iteration in Doom, but also the new cast. So I looked up. So Charles Xavier. Anyways, he is going to be played by Christopher Abbott. And I looked at Christopher Abbott's movies, and I don't really recognize any of them. He was in Kraven the Hunter as I believe, a side character of some sort. Of course, I have not seen Kraven. I'm not sure many people have. But as far as behind Sir Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy, as far as Charles Xavier, that's going to be some big shoes to fill. So it'll be fun to see some new iterations of these characters. Also, Indy, I hope I'm saying this name right, Indy Navarrete from Superman and Lois. She played Sarah Cushing, if you're familiar with that show. She was Lana Lang's daughter in the show Superman and Lois, and I have seen that show. Good show. I highly recommend it if you're all things nerdy fan, not just Marvel. That's what I know her from, and so she is going to be playing Rogue. So that was another, in the original X-Men, there was another character that played Rogue. Of course, again, they're moving into new casting, new movies. This is fully MCU universe, so that will be fun to see. Also, we have a new Storm. So I looked it up, and there are only 2 previous Storms in live action prior to Maya Boyd, who is now going to be the character of Storm. Of course, the OG Storm, live action Halle Berry. And then Alexandria Shipp also had a few appearances. I think as I was doing the research, she only had like 3 movies as Storm. One of them wasn't even an X-Men movie. I think it was. I think it was Deadpool 2. She appeared, and then she appeared in maybe Apocalypse as Storm. So I don't know, how much that goes. But I also don't want to leave out someone else that played Storm, actually 2 other people. Iona Morris, who actually started as the voice of Storm in X-Men the Animated Series, and then later, Season 2, she was replaced by Allison Sealy Smith, who finished up the X-Men the Animated Series as Storm, and then she returned her prized role in X-Men 97. And I would assume with Season 2, she is still voicing that character. So just interesting, some of the casting. That's not all of the casting, but those are the ones I wanted to highlight. Christopher Abbott filling the shoes of Sir Patrick Stewart, as well as James McAvoy. Indy Navarrete is from Superman and Lois, and that's a show that I enjoyed. And also a new Storm, only the 3rd in live action. But also, we haven't had tons of X-Men movie. I mean, we have had tons of X-Men movies, I suppose. But just original. Well, yeah. So there's been the Days of Future Past, the newer cast, I suppose, the younger cast. So we have had quite a few X-Men movies, but now we are getting an official MCU iteration of the X-Men. So if you are an X-Men fan, I would love to know in the comments below, what is your opinion of these new castings? Do you think they'll work? Do you think they'll not work? Are you familiar with them? Most of the names I was not familiar with, except for, of course, Sadie Sink. She was just, as Jean Grey, she was just in Spider-Man Brand New Day as a character that is a mutant, if you've not seen it. Spoiler warning. But she was the first that we saw as far as, other than in the movie The Marvels, in kind of the end credit scene. Also, so now I'm going to jump on to comic news. There are 2 number 1s coming out for Marvel Comics in the month of August, and they may have already come out, but the first one is Tomb of Apocalypse, and the second one is a What If X-Men story. Let's see here. So, the Tomb of Apocalypse, and this is from the Marvel website, is Ancient and Unfathomable Power returns in Tomb of Apocalypse #1 by Ashley Allen and Domenico Carbone. Forgive me if I didn't say their names right. From his exile in space, the shadow of the mutant called Apocalypse looms over all life on the pale blue dot from whence he hailed. Once dedicated to ensuring the strongest and fittest mutants would inherit the Earth, now Apocalypse's attentions have turned to a new deadly undertaking for which he'll need the unique abilities of Jubilee and Wolverine. And so that's going to be in Tomb of Apocalypse #1. And then the other #1 is What If Cassandra Nova killed Professor X? In a world where Cassandra Nova killed Charles Xavier in the womb, telepaths are hunted and experimented on, and what she's making from them is far worse than what she's taking. It is by Ashley Allen and Sumit Kumar. Jean Grey and Emma Frost escape. Cassandra will stop at nothing to bring them back. Bring on Cassandra's X-Men. So that is a couple of the #1s. Also in new comics for the month of August, Black Cat #13, Gambit Wanted #2, Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse #2, Predator versus the Planet of the Apes #2, Queen in Black, Venom Unchained #2, Sorcerer Supreme #9, The Amazing Spider-Man #35, which I did read that is the only issue of Spider-Man prior to Spider-Man 1000, and that's a big mark. 1000 of anything. Tomb of Apocalypse #1, What If X-Men #1, Wolverine #26, X-Men #36, and X-Men Outback #3. As far as collections go, Alien versus Captain America, Daredevil Punisher, The Devil's Trigger, Miles Morales Spider Man Modern Era Epic Collection, Sitting in a Tree, Planet She Hulk, and Strange Tales. I'm not going to read the Marvel Unlimited things that are out now. However, you could find all of this on Marvel's website. Again, I'm not dealing in speculation. I'm not dealing in what if or what could. I will give my take on some of the news that has happened. Um, yeah, and then one last thing I suppose that I'll talk about that I did see was a trailer of Vision Quest, and I wonder how much of that they're going to be pulling from Tom King's the Vision storyline. I have not read it. I think I picked up an issue. I don't even know if it was issue #1. I was at a convention and I saw it and I just picked it up. Maybe it was a #1, but so it'll be interesting to see. But I do know of its existence after WandaVision if we are going to get kind of that storyline where he kind of creates himself a family of androids or whatever in this world or in his mind or however it works. I would love to see that new Vision, though, the white Vision from the end of WandaVision. I would love to see that actually that Vision in the real world, and I would love to see them bring Scarlet Witch back, played by Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen, not Elizabeth Olsen. Maybe Elizabeth Olsen. Forgive me. I would love to see that to bring that character back into the MCU because she is such a powerful character, and you kind of just killed her off. And maybe she didn't want to be that character anymore. I don't know. Maybe you recast her somehow, do some inner. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do in the multiverse, right? Of course, I think that's coming to an end as far as the movies, but I don't know. Let's bring her back. One cameo appearance in Avengers Doomsday. Like, bring them all back somehow, some way, and yeah, make Doomsday a grand epic tale. So that is your Marvelous Monday news today. If you have stayed and watched all the way through, thank you so much. Tomorrow I will be back for some DC news and calling it Terrific Tuesday. If you have a better name for me than Terrific Tuesday, let me know. But I mean that kind of works, right? Because Mr. Terrific was just kind of given the big spotlight in Superman 2025. Which, by the way, what did you think of that? Yeah, so this is a segment I'm going to try to keep up with on Mondays, Marvelous Mondays. So if there's no new news, maybe we'll talk about some of the ongoing news. Maybe I'll talk about who I wish was in Avengers Doomsday. Maybe I'll talk about some of the previous Spider-Man movies and what I thought of them. Could be anything, but I'm mainly going to keep Marvelous Mondays to news as news comes out. So if you would like to stay tuned for this, please sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you would like some early access release to some of my episodes, head on over to Patreon, Comics CC Studio. I'd love to have you. I'm trying to build a community of people that really love comics, cosplay, and conventions, but maybe you don't have those people in your life to talk to. And this is a community I would love to build where we have a community to support each other, where we could talk about what we're reading, talk about our next convention, share our cosplay ideas. That's what I'm trying to build over there. So come on over. I'm looking at the chat here and I don't see any questions or comments, but be sure to like, comment, subscribe. What did you think of some of this news? Is there other news that was out that I missed that you would have liked to see covered? I'm always welcome to comments, suggestions, tips, tricks, automobiles. No, planes, trains, automobiles. Just kidding. So for Marvelous Monday, this is Brent with Comics CC Studio. I will CC you later. And in honor of Spider-Man and Happy Hogan, stay sticky. All right. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.